Hello, this is Bonsai, or known as XL, and I'm basically doing a whole sort of, idea of how this mobile suit works. This is the GM Quel. The GM Quel is a very specific type of mobile suit, and this mobile suit is very, very hard to understand and hard to use. But with enough experience and enough you know understanding how this thing works, it would be good. Now, the GM rifle on this thing is, I don't know why, but it feels like so goddamn freaking bankrupt in this goddamn freaking mobile suit. I prefer using the GM2 rifle. When you basically receive this mobile suit as a starter person who very begins the game, it's just very hard to understand. And there's this flight type. I just don't want to even bother fighting this guy. I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me, dude. And he was able to get me right in my legs, and he basically landed on the floor, and I wanted to chase after him. Now, the flight types are pretty damn cheesy mobile suits. It's so cheesy to the point that it's just, man, I just wish it was really good. Now it's just a nuisance to fight these things. It's just, I don't know. I was really, really, really good with these goddamn flight types. Like, extremely good with these goddamn mobile suits. And, it's just ever since they nerfed it, I barely can use that mobile suit. And that's the worst part. Now, using, this GM, it has a really good variety of weapons. The GM2 rifle is a good exception. The thing is that you can literally shoot 2 GM rifle shots with this thing, which is pretty damn solid stuff. It's just trying to choose your moments and engagements is very, very crucial. It can literally be very difficult at first, but at the very beginning of the game, I've been running into these really crazy Wi-Fi problems, as you can see. But it's really, really late stuff, and it kind of like, I just got hit invisible, but it's basically the internet having a really bad and hard time trying to catch up with the latency. As you can see, I was able to catch this man. And yeah, if you're a beginner and you just get pounded with this goddamn mobile suit at first, this is a decent mobile suit to start off with, but not with the GM rifle. The GM machine gun variant, that is really, really hard to start off with. Now, having the beam version, it's a good. Now, it is possible in theory for D- players to defeat A+ players or S- players. If you pull like a Qubile, if you pull like a Zeta, Zero Shiki, etc., you're capable of fighting these high tier players with these mobile suits. And it's pretty damn interesting, it's pretty damn trolly, and that's what I love about this game, because you can literally defeat like high tier players, and it just really triggers them, especially if you're like a D-. And there's basically moments where it's just so satisfactory when you beat like these high tier players as a low tier player. And that's what makes this game really fun and really amazing. Now, the GM Quel is very, it's specific. Its movements is pretty it's basic stuff that I see on a lot of good mobile suits. Now, throughout this whole match, I was able to get into really nice, juicy engagements with supports with this, and with this GM, it is perfect to hunt down supports. You basically have weapons like the beam rifle, you got the grenades, you got the flashbang, you got machine gun, which is pretty damn solid stuff. And this raid also has a really good shield. The shield pretty good stuff. Now right there, that man was able to dodge roll out of that, engagement. That never happens to me. That always fails 100% of the time. And I had to run out of that engagement because I was in really bad theory mode right there. And I kind of slapped a really good old-fashioned white paint on this because it looks really aesthetic. It looks very pleasing to the very naked eye, which is really nice, and I love this thing. Now I was able to go after this support guy right here, and this support guy had another guy trying to get me. And that's the thing about this mobile suit, it is very good at chasing down supports. Chasing down supports is the thing about almost every single raid you're supposed to do. It's a really good tactic if you're you're very new to this game and you're starting off. Use a raid and you can go after the supports. As you can see, I'm basically whipping this man really good. Now this mobile suit has a pretty damn decent variety of weapons. As you can see, I ran out of boost right there. And he just literally popped out of nowhere. I was like, oh, a piece of candy. It was just like it was like a freaking free kill, and I was like, I'll freaking take it. I love it. Now right over here, I was going to get slashed by that man. I did not want to get slashed by that man. And if I had to rate this mobile suit, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. The reason being is that it's got a lot of good things in this, and I really specifically don't want to put my time in using this mobile suit. I can see it's really solid potential in this, but seeing all this armament on this, it's some good stuff. I love the whole little mix and match of what this mobile suit can do. And with this mobile suit, you are capable of getting really good places in majority of these matches, which is really solid stuff. And right there, I was able to drop a good old-fashioned flash grenade, which the flash grenade, you're basically supposed to throw it on a enemy's front of his feet, or basically right in front of him. It's highly recommended if you basically throw the flashbang at their head, because I believe it really messes up with their sensors, which is also a really good tactic if you're trying to throw the enemy off guard. Now, majority of the time, using this mobile suit, you gotta be careful, because you don't want to get smashed by a bunch of generals, because getting smashed by a bunch of generals, it's kind of like a catastrophe. Yeah, you just have to be very careful. I wanted to capture a point over here because I feel like capturing a point in the outskirts is very useful, especially if the enemy has a one step ahead of you, if they have a capture point up there. And as you can see, the enemy team basically doesn't have a single capture point, and that is really bad news for them. And as I can see, there are two enemies over here. I was hoping that there was a support, but it was even worse. It was one of these mobile suits, the VG, I believe. I'm not sure. That's the variant with the rifle. This one was a very big thorn on my neck. I was trying to get around him, trying to figure out a really good, good feeling of where I can attack him. I wasn't able to attack him, but he was able to attack me. I was able to literally, that was awkward. How the heck did he get out of that engagement? And at this specific moment, I literally was able to capture this man because he was trying to go melee for one of our team members, which I was basically able to save with this. Now this mobile suit is pretty damn solid because, you know, having this scored like 10 is, you know, a basic rating for raids. A lot of people don't like using raids, which I understand, but majority of the time the raids are pretty damn dangerous mobile suits. The reason why they are very dangerous is because they basically have really good, you know, damage output in their melee, and they have really good speed, and that's basically majority of the time. And I was able to get that man a, you know, little sunburn of heat right there. I kind of spotted him because I kind of knew he was, you know, trying to go after the point right there. And that VG is pretty damn, it's a big thick boy, man. It's a pretty damn solid mole suit. Trying to go up against it with this mole suit is, you know, pretty damn hard. And at this specific moment I was trying to, you know, hold this whole position. There were basically 5 enemies at, you know, the other side of this mountain, and they're all just chilling. And, you know, when you have your shield broken, always take advantage of your mobile suit's speed, because when your shield is broken you're able to do, you know, some pretty damn Speedy Gonzalez type of thing, which is pretty damn nice. You could go mad clapping on these enemies, you know, if you have the most like speed with all these type of mobile suits. Now, problem with this mobile suit is the boost. The boost runs out real quick, very quick, absolutely quick. It runs out really quick. But that's the only flaw with this mobile suit. It's got really good melee. It's got really good what do we call it? It's got really good speed, but, you know, that's the thing. Now, with all this armaments that this mobile suit has, I wish it was capable of having a different type of beam rifle. I wish it had a different type of bazooka. But, you know, just having this beam rifle is, you know, basically sufficient enough to do some really good strategic type of, you know, maneuvers and movements, and the flash makes it really nice. So it's like a little type of, you know, cherry on the top, the flash and the grenade. You got 2 choices, plus you got a machine gun, and that's pretty damn good. Right over here, this man, you know, mad surprised me. I did not see that ultralight. And be warned, when you use a, you know, when you're using a raid, you have to keep in mind that it's a raid. You know, when you're fighting up against generals, you have to fight back. You have to fight back against generals. If you don't fight back against generals, the general's going to take advantage, and they're going to probably poop on you. And, you know, it's you know, you just got mad poop on your goddamn porch, and you're just like, god damn it, now I have to put out this goddamn fire. And that's basically it. Now, this is a sort of kind of like a basic match with the GM Quel, and, you know, it's basically, you know, it's a pretty nice raid. I love it. Yeah. The goddamn melee on this thing is pretty damn solid. I love the goddamn the beam sword. I don't know why, but it just feels nice and solid with the beam sword. And there was this GM light armor right there, which is very dangerous. These mole suits you gotta keep an eye out on. I wanted to go after him, and my beam kind of went over his head. I was kind of disappointed that didn't land, but, you know, you just can't always have your, you know, your moments amazing. But it happens. I was able to graze this man's, you know, little toe, and, you know, a lot of the times the melee just it just has a hard time trying to be effective. It's got some pretty damn solid maneuver armor, and it's got a sick ass dodge roll. So I don't mind the dodge roll. I'll take the dodge roll. The dodge roll is a pretty damn nice addition to this mobile suit. Now, when you're using this mobile suit, you can flick. That's a really crazy thing about this mobile suit. You can literally flick the beam saber. The beam saber is pretty damn sick. So like when you're literally going to confrontation, if you flick onto the right, if you flick right with this mobile suit, you're going to outspeed a lot of the opponents and engagements, which is pretty damn good. Little tip with this mobile suit. So it flicks pretty damn good. It can literally fight back. It can do some pretty good, decent damage if if you can time it right. You can literally do some pretty damn decent stuff with this thing. You can also go for like a flashbang and then swing twice. Just don't knock them down. Then you could go for the beam, and then you can go for knocking them down. And that's a really good combo with this thing. And the cool thing about this mobile suit is that you can do some pretty damn decent finishers with the grenades. So if there was a enemy behind that mountain right there, I'm able to toss some grenades over over that side and been able to do some really good stuff. Now at this specific moment, that support was supposed to be able to capture my melee. He did it strategically good right there, but the game was basically over. But we did basically decent with this thing. And when you're using this mobile suit, you're going to have a lot of pretty damn decent rounds with this thing. Like I'm not gonna brag how how amazing this is, the most ultimate mobile suit in the entire game, or I'm not gonna brag that it's it's so goddamn freaking powerful. Like I've seen a lot of players that they be bragging how amazing the Zaku what's the word? The Zaku 2 is like so goddamn good, just like the regular standard good. It's just like very, very good, but in reality it is very it's very lackluster. The machine gun is amazing, but just having the bazooka is just very, very kind of painful, because you don't have maneuver armor, you don't have double dog, you don't have a dodge roll, you don't have double swings, you don't have a lot of things. And the thing is like I literally used a Zaku 2, but I love the Zaku 2, and I just basically got used to that mobile suit to the point that I learned that it wasn't as effective as I thought it was, and I felt like it was the most OP goddamn mobile suit in the game. But it wasn't really the most OP. There was just so many other ones that were just a lot more effective, a lot more dangerous. But it is capable, like a lot of those mobile suits can beat a lot of these mobile suits, but it's a very slim chance. And the thing is, you would rather choose a mobile suit that is absolutely devastating, absolutely good, and combating a whole group of guys. Now, using this mobile suit, it is very, very agile. It's very agile, but the problem is the goddamn boost. And if you wanted to, you can literally throw some range boost on this thing, and it's pretty damn solid stuff. Right over here, I was able to nab a wonderful kill, but they were able to finish me off with good old fashioned I'm a goddamn general. And they were able to finish me off with a support. And yeah, it's a really good mobile suit. I highly recommend it. If you ever pull this thing, just give this little test run, give it a try, and yeah. It's just too bad it didn't have a bazooka. If it had a bazooka, it would have been really fun. Now, right over here, I believe me and my team member were going to knock each other down, and I'm kind of glad it did not happen. I was able to nab this guy right behind me, and there is this support right here. This was basically the most wonderful game that you could ever dream of if you're a raid. Basically the whole enemy team had nothing but, you know, supports. So me, as being a raid, it was like, oh god, you know, it was just like a whole goddamn freaking ice cream parlor of all flavors that I wanted to go after. And you know, it's just really nice. And you know, this was pretty damn solid. Even having, you know, a raid that was basically holding a whole team here, fighting off nothing but goddamn supports, still, you know, the supports, I believe, was able to win this match, which I give them pretty damn good props, because I think they were able to hold down a really good section and portion of the map. Right over here, this man, that was kind of awkward with his axe. I'm not sure how he was able to hit me with his axe in such a long distance, which kind of confused me. And at this specific moment, I had 3 guys aiming at me, and I could not do that much. And there was a Zoc right there, and you know, having a big old full HP Zoc kind of is not a really good sign. Well, yeah, that's basically it. This thing is pretty damn wonderful. If you're not, you know, not into raids, just give raids a chance. Raids deserve a chance, man. They deserve power. And you know, I love generals. Generals are just so fun to use. Now over here, I was trying to get into a really good confrontation, but I got staggered and I just got into a really bad mumbo jumbo right here. Really bad moment. I wasn't sure what was going on, but you know, after seeing like a lot of these enemies in low HP, we could have had, you know, a really good solid game, but I just kept on getting shot. I believe a lot of them shot at me because they know I'm a raid, and you know, I highly advise, if a raid's trying to go after you, you know, you kind of have to defend yourself. Now at this specific moment, it is really good to go after a point, especially when your legs are pretty damn freaking busted. But yeah, you know, my legs kind of feel like goddamn busted, like the dude from Saving Private Ryan, where his legs are just freaking mad, like beat to death. Or like that dude from Infection or something, where the legs are just so damn mad busted. Now using this mobile suit, you have to what's the word? You have to chase. You have to chase down supports. You're chasing down supports, you're going to have a hell of a time. And throughout this whole type of, you know, match, I've had really good score because I was able to, you know, use the melee and pummel. And right behind me, I knew I was vulnerable. I wanted to go forward. I was hoping I could get one of these enemies off guard, so you know, a lot of my team members can get a really nice, juicy, solid opening. Now, the GM rifle, it's very specific. Sometimes you can literally go in a way where you can literally shoot the beam rifle and then wait for like a little bit, and then you could go for the beam rifle, you know, seconds later. And at this specific moment, I'm just trying to figure out, like, how are we like really behind. I'm just trying to figure out a lot of things right now. I was able to knock down the Zoc by accident, and the time was able to basically save him from the game. And you'll be surprised at how many kills I was able to get with this thing. I was able to get 10 kills with this mobile suit. That is amazing. Now, having those type of engagements where you just have a whole match full of supports, it is very slim and very rare, but when you have that moment, take advantage, you'll love it. Now, in this moment, I felt like there was a support in here, but I saw the large old gun sticking through the goddamn mountain, and like I said, these Zudas, man, it just makes me laugh. These big old guns. This man, he did some really good work. I was pretty damn surprised. At the very beginning of the game, he was able to do some pretty damn, decent strategy right here. I was trying to get after this man, but good stuff, and I had another guy right behind me, which was real bad news. I had to get out of there. You always have to keep your mind on the map. Keep your mind on the map, you're able to do some good stuff. Now, at this specific moment, I know for a fact any sort of goddamn machine gun will kill me. I am dead. But I was trying to keep a really good distance off that Zuda because he's got like a crazy machine gun of 100 rounds. I'm not sure how many, but it was just like, yeah. Oh god. The irony. Zuda F, amazing mobile suit. Love it. It's just, oh man, I just wish it had more health. If it had health, it would have been amazing. It needs more. The Zuda needs 100,000 health. Oh man. But yeah, the GM Quel, it's a solid mobile suit. It's got some really good bite. It's got a really nice kick. I enjoy it, almost every single part of it. As you can see, using the beam, it's very difficult to keep your mind on the recharge meter. Keeping your mind on the recharge meter helps a lot. You have to keep your mind really active with that thing. Now, right over here, one of my team members is getting smacked to death, and I wanted to come in and try to save the day. And I believe my team member was basically outnumbered. He had a bunch of guys. I had to leave him. It was a really bad spot for me to be at because I was getting chased by a bunch of guys. And I'm actually surprised, like I'm looking at the map and one of my team members is literally still over there alive, and it's amazing. I was like, wow, he's doing some good work over there. What the heck is going on? But I believe he was trying to bomb the base, which was a really good news for us. Now this guy right here, he kind of boosted, which was a pretty good, tactic. If you're a support, you gotta risk it all, you know what I mean? Now this man, he was trying to go after our team members' poor body, as you can see. And yeah, pretty damn good, solid. The enemy team was able to disarm the bomb, and throughout this whole point, I was hoping that I would land on this spin, but it did not work. And lo and behold, look at that, a wonderful support. I will take this easy kill, and one of my team members basically kind of shot at me, or someone shot at me, I'm not sure who. But I had to leave because, the artillery. And I missed. Oh man, what are the chances? And that's the thing about this mobile suit. You have to figure out your beam attack. And I was able to knock both of them down. And that's why I say, double swings are very, very, needed. You really need double swings. Double swings can knock down 4 opponents if you're good enough. You know, you can literally, if they're all grouped up together, you know, just might as well throw double swing on there. That's amazing, you know. Especially when the whole group is just mad distracted, that's the perfect time to literally go for a double swing. And as you can see, you know, you have to be very effective with your flashbang. Throwing a flashbang on the left or the right side of an enemy opponent is a no-go. It doesn't affect, so you have to be spot on with the goddamn grenades, because sometimes a lot of that grenade stuff is just so unreliable. Yeah, it's just, yeah, sometimes the grenades are pretty damn unreliable. I've had moments where I literally throw a grenade right in front of the enemy opponent and it does nothing to stagger him. I'm just like, what is going on? Where is the stagger? And this was a really good moment, and he was able to boost out of that. That was really, really, really awkward. I'm trying to figure out why and how did that even happen. Right over here is perfect kill. I should have went for the melee. The melee would have been nice. And the whole game is pretty damn hard right now. We're basically in a time limit. Either the enemy can win or we can win. Who knows? This Gabaldi did really nice work. I wasn't able to reach him. I was like, God damn it. That's pretty that's pretty damn painful stuff. There was an enemy opponent right behind me. I wanted to keep away from these two guys because I'm not sure if they're a bunch of raids or supports. But yeah, GM Quel, it's really good. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's really fun to use. It gives it a little type of variety. I haven't really mastered grenades in this game, but you know, I can see that really happening, as you know, in the map the enemies trying to chase us down with the low HP we basically have, and he basically landed on top of us. I was like, what is going on? And one of my team members basically knocked me down, but we were able to do a really nice comeback right here. And I had to, you know, I'm freaking attacking. I just don't want to hide. I don't want to be that person who just hides the match. But unless the match was just really, really insane, I would have done it. But yeah, the game was pretty damn solid. Good stuff. Yeah. And yeah, this thing can clap cheeks. And see y'all later. Take care. Enjoy your time. Love y'all.